Hey everyone, welcome to the second seminar in our Light Tackle Marathon leading up to our Light Tackle event on April 11th. We're going to have some really big discounts throughout the fishing department. We're going to have our parking lot party with combos for kids and food by EJ. We're going to have a rod and reel trade-in that's going to benefit combos for kids and a whole bunch of awesome stuff going on. So let's get right into it. Today I'm here with owner of Lonely Angler, Ben Wilson. He is going to be talking to us today about some topwater rock fishing. So let's get right into it. Ben, thank you for being here. We're looking forward to chatting a little bit about some topwater fishing.
Yeah, absolutely. No, thanks for having me, and thanks to you guys for putting this together. It's a great event. I know we did it last year. You guys had some big success, and I think it was really good.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about some of the plugs that you make. I know you do some poppers. I know you do some walking style baits. You want to tell us a little bit about your lures here?
Sure. Yeah, all of our lures are handcrafted. We assemble them all actually here in Maryland. So it is definitely a sort of made in America business. It's my dad and myself, and then sometimes my kids help with making them too. But each one of our lures, and this is one of our zipsters, it's a 1 ounce lure. It's an injection molded, and there's a through wire design, so it's a good solid lure. So this is one of them, the zipster. It's a 1 ounce lure. One of the other ones, the smaller plugs, is about a 3/4 ounce popper. It's exactly right though. It's a popper. This one's a bunker style. Kind of replicates the bait that's in the bay. And then the third lure that we have is a larger one. It's about 1.5 ounces. Again, injection molded plug. Each one of our lures is assembled with VMC permasteel hooks, so you know they're nice and solid and they're not going to rust. And we also like putting single hooks on the back. It's a lot easier on the fish. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get into a little bit of fishing. We get a lot of people in here always asking about, when to throw like a spook versus a popper. We get a lot of people asking about like what conditions are going to be good for topwater. Everybody sort of is seeking that topwater rockfish bite. So I guess we'll start off, if you want to tell us, what do you kind of look for when you're going out there casting topwater? Sort of what time of day, weather conditions, structure, things like that.
So all those are a factor. I think, in my opinion, the biggest factor is probably the timing and the tide. My experience has always been early in the mornings, if it's nice and calm. A great lure to throw is a zipster, which is this. It's sort of a walk the dog action. If it's a little windier, then I'd recommend throwing a popper. So it really just depends upon the weather. I also like it when the tide is changing, and if you can get in around structure, around docks, anything like that, that's usually where the fish are going to hold. So yeah, definitely I prefer early in the morning or late in the afternoon, nice calm weather. I don't really think it makes much of a difference whether it's overcast or sunny, but a lot of people have their preferences. So I go with what works for us, and that seems to be the ticket.
Yeah, for sure. So you mentioned throwing that zipster, which is sort of like your walking style bait when it's really calm out. So when would you sort of decide, okay, I'm going to put the zipster down and maybe it's time to throw a popper?
So if you can't see birds working or you can't see fish breaking on the surface, it's probably time to try a popper, because that's going to cause a little bit more disturbance on the water. It's going to create more action on the surface, and that's going to incite something from, maybe not already up on the top, but something that's down a little lower to come up and grab it. So yeah, I would definitely recommend, if you don't see fish breaking or you don't see birds actively working, probably better to try a popper at that point.
For sure. And what about color? I know you've got a couple different color patterns that you make for your baits. Is there a certain color that you prefer, or certain like weather condition, time of day, water clarity, anything like that might make you pick a certain color over another? Sure.
For some reason, I don't know what it is, but the all white seems to be the lure of choice for a lot of people. We call this a glow pattern. It lights them on fire. I would say that this probably outcatches 2 to 1 the other patterns that we have. I mean, the other patterns, quite honestly, it does look like a bunker, but when it's moving, I'm not so sure that the fish are necessarily going to care. But by far, I would say the white one is by far the preferred color.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, I know that kind of bone white tone is a lot of people's go-to when it comes to a walking style bait like that.
Yep.
And so I know we're talking about rockfish right now. I know topwater, as you said, is mostly kind of like a summertime thing. But what other species in the bay or just like in the area can you target using these Lonely Angler plugs?
Yeah, so you can definitely target Spanish mackerel. You can also target bluefish. I mean, bluefish are going to eat probably just about anything anyways. But I would say in the Chesapeake Bay area, those are the three most popular that you're going to catch. I do know that people have used them for drum as well. But I would say primarily rockfish, Spanish mackerel, bluefish, and drum for sure.
Cool.
One thing I should probably mention is that the setup that I would recommend, and we've got one here. This is just kind of right off of your guys' shelves, and you guys have an absolutely fantastic, variety of rods. But I like to pick about a 7-foot medium to fast action light tackle, probably a 3000 series reel with 20 to 30 pound braid. And then what I do is I take about a 2-foot long mono or fluorocarbon leader and tie that on, especially if they're bluefish. And that kind of helps make sure you don't lose the plug. So, but yeah, this is a great setup. It's good for a boat, a kayak. I've got a kayak that I've been fishing out of, and just got a boat too. And this is the absolute best kind of setup that I've found works best.
For sure, for sure. And I heard you talk about leader for a second there. I know you said you do about a 2-foot long leader. Do you have any preference between fluorocarbon or mono when you're fishing your plugs? Does it make a difference?
I prefer fluorocarbon. Probably a 30-pound fluorocarbon leader is about right. That's what I like, and I usually use about a 2 or 3 foot long leader. So it kind of gives enough space between the line where they're not going to be able to see it in the plug, which is not going to distract them, so they'll go for the plug.
Cool. Yep. Cool. And then just one other rigging tip, I guess. There's sort of a lot of debate about which knot is best to use on a topwater plug. What knot do you use when you're tying up your Lonely Angler plugs?
It really is it's a total personal preference. I mean, mine is just a really simple fishing knot. It's the most basic of all knots. 6 twists, you put the line back through itself and then cinch it down. But it's really just personal preference. I mean, some people use a snap swivel, some people don't use a snap swivel. I mean, I personally will put a swivel on, but I think a lot of it's just personal preference. But yeah, so whatever works for you, but that's what works for me.
Yeah,
it's been pretty successful so far.
Good. Yeah, it's refreshing to hear you say that, because a lot of people think there's one quote unquote right way to do things, but really topwater fishing, at the end of the day, isn't that all complicated?
Yeah.
And anybody can do it.
That's a lot of fun. I mean, when you're out there and you see fish breaking and you've got birds working, you just cast out a plug and just have at it. And I know a lot of people also will use something like this, a popper with a trailer at the end of it. So a lot of people will take the back hook off, and then they'll put, about a 12 or 18 inch lead on the back, and then either a fly or a bucktail. And that works really well as well. I mean, I enjoy doing that too. I mean, I've actually caught 2 fish before, one on the tail hook and then one on the belly hook with a leader like that. So that's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just last thing here, where can people, find you on social media? If, they catch fish on your baits, they want to tag you, they want to send you a message, ask you questions. Where can people find you?
Sure. So we're both on Facebook and Instagram, and it's The Lonely Angler. It's pretty simple. We always appreciate when somebody catches a fish and tags us, and I know we certainly try to tag you guys too, and it's a great partnership. Anglers is, you guys run a great business, and it's a great promotion you guys have coming up here, and we're really excited. I think I'll probably come by for a couple hours during the event, and more than happy to chat with people and talk it up. So I'm excited. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, that would be great. Well, thank you so much for coming here and sharing about some shallow water, topwater fishing.
Yeah.
We always appreciate your insight. And yeah, we'll see you during the event.
All right, looking forward to it.
All right, man.
All right, thanks, guys.